My coworker hired a new employee against my recommendation, purely because she was very attractive. Her skills didn't match the job description, so he created a new position for her. What should I do? Why do anything? Just document your misgivings, then sit back and watch her become a liability, and your foolish coworker take the blame. If you can cover your butt by having proof tucked away that you recommended against her in case it comes back to you, be sure you do that. Then sit back and enjoy the view. Either her shortcomings will become apparent and she will be let go, or she will prove you wrong. Do you have some sort of probationary period? If she's not working out after 90 days or whatever, give her the boot. And you never know, she might be smart enough to catch up. If I were you, I'd take the guy who hired her aside and very gently tell him what you told us. If he acts like an idiot, flirts with her, your company could end up with a physical harassment suit, and that's the last thing you want. Increasing headcount is a major pain in the butt at my company, so if she is gone it's going to be a shitstorm. But yes, we have a 90-day probationary period. Saying we really could use her skills to increase sales. He's right. She sold him, didn't she? Good looks won't sell $10,000 parts. Tell her he is gay. He wears his divorce on his sleeve, but I like the idea. Okay, I'm a little confused here. How is this person a manager who only has to follow your recommendations but he has the final say? Also, why are you so worried again if it was his final call? If he made a misstep it will be noticed and blamed on the one who hired her, not the one who recommended against it. Oddly enough, I think you are not seeing past the tea. I get you work for the main company, but what is your position and how would it be directly affected by said employee? I don't know. To me it sounds like you are angry, jealous, power hungry. I mean, the first thought process is getting an upper manager fired because of hiring an underqualified salesperson. Come on now, is one poor salesperson really going to bring an entire sub down from the inside out by not selling as hard as she could? Something just sounds wrong with all this, or too much info is missing to make a realistic judgment. Not everyone who is attractive is an underqualified idiot. Frick her. He'll think about it twice the next time he'll get a girl on board just because she looks nice. I see your point. He hasn't actually done anything wrong yet. He has justified his choice and he does get final say. You've made your misgivings clear. Make sure they're documented. Go to your boss rather than Reddit if you're still concerned. He's likely to offer better advice. I'd wait until the new hire doesn't work out before firing her. Overruling him is micromanagement. Just sit back and enjoy the view. Everyone who hates their company and likes to sit back and watch it hurt should swap places with someone who is unemployed, or go out and start their own company, one which they will hopefully care about. Give her a chance. If her performance does not measure up the company's standards, then let her go and detail to HR or whoever how she was hired against your recommendation then. She's clearly a decent salesperson. She already made the biggest sale to get in the door, and your friend bought it. He ultimately has the final say. I realize that priorities are business and this was wrong, but doing anything yet would just look vindictive and would be very cruel. People are going to think that you're upset because you weren't listened to rather than anything else. It's his decision and his responsibility. In fact, the ease with which you think of firing people makes me think that you're lacking in basic empathy and rather young, and thus naive about the financial stresses of losing a job. It's inhumane to be so cold-hearted about it. I can certainly see why you're pissed about the situation, but put yourself in her shoes, and his behavior is inexcusable, but she's obviously looking to have a job and an income, which she's being given. Immediately taking that away from her seems really harsh. And was flirting with her for a majority of it. Heck, if that happened to me in an interview, I'd hate to work with the people. If they were flirting with me, it would be so sleazy. Either she's a sleaze or really desperate for work. Patience. Just have patience. It will be easier on everyone if you wait a while and have her ousted if she proves herself useless. You will have given her a chance and your coworker will be proven wrong. And by a while I don't necessarily mean months, just as long as necessary to have her prove herself incompetent and bad for business. Hopefully she will also realize she isn't suited to the job, so I think it might be less cruel for her. He brushed it off, saying we really could use her skills to increase sales. He might have a point. She's attractive and game for flirting, Surely that matters when working as a salesperson? Good points all around. Thanks for the perspective. And yes, I'm young and possibly heartless because of it. The truth is, your ego is stung because your advice wasn't followed. Get over it, or you may be the one finding yourself in a professionally compromised situation. Treat her like a normal employee, with a normal, objective performance review process, and then see if she gets up to speed in a reasonable time frame. Some people can surprise you, but you should be very much reactive rather than proactive about trying to get rid of her. Not at all. Headcount is very difficult to add in my company. I have many other positions I would love to fill, but instead we get a ditzy blonde that doesn't seem competent and got the job by flirting with my coworker. I'm not going to treat her any different. I just don't think creating a position for someone BC she flirted with you is right. Isn't that what probation periods are for? Give her a 1 pay period and let her actually try the job. If she sucks at the job, grab your friend and lay it out for him there that he needs to let her go or move her to somewhere she isn't a liability. Yes, it's balls to hire someone cause they're hot and flirted with him, but it's also balls to fire someone right off without giving them any chance at the job cause they're hot. She sold herself into the job. She can probably sell whatever it is you guys are pushing. She's probably done this for a long time. You just might be surprised. Give her a month. After that, if she's only eye candy, tell your coworker to fire her, or you'll fire them both. If she works out, your coworker got lucky, and you got a good employee. Tell your coworker to fire her, or you'll fire them both. This sounds like an awesome idea. If the OP has the ability to fire him, this will, of course, need documentation that he hired her against his recommendation to justify firing the coworker. Don't micromanage. You might think you're doing the right thing, but others will see it as you lording it over everyone. Like you said, the final decision lies with him. It's his problem, not yours. What you should do is not give a frick. You said it yourself that this guy is close to breaking, so why would you even consider pushing him further? Keep in mind that these are people. Maybe you're more loyal to the company than to a coworker, but ultimately they're not going to be loyal to you. Give her a chance, and if she is underperforming, fire her, then talk to him about it. Don't be a dong and go straight to corporate. Firing her for what? For being hot? Lawsuit. Your company made a huge error hiring her. Fine. You'll make an even larger error if you fire her for being good looking. My, what large monitors you have. Pics of new hired chick. Just bang her dude. She joked around the entire time and wouldn't look me in the eye at all. All without looking at me in the eyes. Is not looking you in the eyes really such a crime? I used to be able to look people in the eyes, but then I joined the military and the constant. Are you eyeballing me private? I have learned not to eyeball anyone. Also, you say she's going to be a salesperson. She sold herself to your manager guy. She probably can sell crap fine. So why not simply just sit back and not give a crap? Of note, if she was hired to do say an IT or engineer type job, I would be doing a completely different response. Maybe she's not looking him in the eyes because she already sensed the hostility from him. Also, if she did look him in the eye, OP probably would have construed that as more flirting. It is a lose-lose situation for her the way he set us up. The advice to wait and see is wrong. You absolutely should file a report with your boss and copy HR. You are looking at this from the wrong angle. I really hope your recommendations are somewhere in writing. Best case scenario is in an email to Stupid. If so, secure copies of the resumes and the emails at your home just in case and wait and see if you like. If you have nothing yet in writing, this is now a sire situation. Do this right now. 1. Secure copies of the resumes of those interviews you participated in, or that you discussed with Stupid if you did not sit in on interviews. 2. Go through the resumes. Write the thoughts you had of the candidates on a separate note paper. Do not date the note paper. Just make some accurate scratch notes of your thought process at the time, as your memory is only going to get worse. 3. On separate piece of paper, undated, copy over the names of the short list of candidates you recommended to Stupid. Below the short list, write notes of your meeting with Stupid when you presented your recommendations. 4. Secure all this at home. 5. Write an email to your supervisor formally objecting to the hire and copy HR. State that you would like your formal objection to this hire put in your file. Clarify that although you understand the final call on the hire was always stupid, you are concerned that having been assigned to mentor him through the hiring process will associate yourself with a decision and possibly future hiring decisions that you cannot support. State that while you thought yourself capable of mentoring Stupid and teaching him the best practices of hiring, in hindsight you realize that you failed the task. You feel it is your duty to make boss aware that Stupid needs additional training in hiring practices before he is given the authority to fill another position. If your boss doesn't understand the subtext in this message, HR will. There are worse things than being on the wrong side of your boss or co-workers over this, namely being on the wrong side of the EOC investigator who was called in by the dark-skinned elder pregnant accented disabled religious symbol wearing candidate was told the juicy gossip about how incompetent everyone thinks SI is. This is an instance where the ethical thing to do is also in your best interests. And even though the ethical thing to do is not a joy, the ramifications of failing to do it can be very terrible. Hidden benefit will be gaining a strong ally within HR. If you have doubts of my advice, sit down with someone in HR and ask them how you can best protect the company. Cough yourself cough. Without running afoul of the local flavor of corporate politics. HR will help you on this and love you for consulting them, I promise. Seconded. If this new hire turns out to be the disaster you think she might be, it's better to have your objections on the record now rather than looking like you approved of the hire, or trying to explain later how you thought she was terrible but didn't say anything. He is supposed to follow my recommendations for hiring because this is his first job as an upper manager, but he ultimately has the final say. First, read what you already wrote. Second, stop being a bee. If she is working in sales, hotness is pretty much one of the most desired qualities. Regardless of what you are selling, everyone will make time to hear out the attractive woman pitching your product. Third, make sure you have clear proof that you disagreed with the hiring decision and that you discussed it with him. So just in case this crap blows up, you can pin the blame on him and fire him. Two things could happen. He's stupid and tries to frick the woman and gets fired, whether he actually succeeds or she files a complaint. Or, he realizes she would never frick him and is now stuck with a weak employee who is a dong tease. In his eyes. Either way, he is going to learn his lesson. You probably won't like this, but any outcome will probably take a long time. No instant gratification here, just give it time is what I'm trying to convey. This situation will work itself out. Report it and get him fired, then get rid of her. Sometimes thinking with your balls can be good for business, but it's never a good move to think with your dong. I thought about this, but he is a really good person and is seemingly vulnerable. He just got out of a rough divorce and almost lost his kids. He was thrown into this position from a job he worked comfortably for 15 years with expectations for success. He is all around a neurotic and sort of depressed guy. I'm afraid he may snap if he gets fired, but it seems like the only option at this point. Document your recommendations very well. If you have emails, forward copies of them to a private account, etc. Make sure you can show that you said no. Send him an email questioning his actions in this regard and asking him to explain how despite her lack of qualifications and skills, the need to create of a new position for her and your contrary recommendation, he hired her. If he comes to see you personally to discuss it, tell the truth that you think she was hired as eye candy and that hiring her will be a mistake that will come back to bite both of you. If he gets back to you, document that. If not, resend your request in a couple of weeks. Make sure to get the matter resolved during her probationary period. Wait, stop. What exactly is the position? I think attractive women actually shape the image of a company correctly. If she is in a very visible role and has some qualifications, that is a big plus. But if she's only pretty no qualifications, fire her, or if she doesn't play a communication role in the company. Well, I for one would be pretty pee if I realized my job depended on advice from Reddit. They're just a bunch of self-serving pedantic buttholes. Oh wait. There is no such thing as underqualified in sales. You can either sell or you can't. Sales is about making people feel comfortable with you. The technical aspects are on the back burner. Sure, you need to have some knowledge, but it's not the critical aspect. I've worked with plenty of airhead women salespeople who barely knew the product, but I'll be damned if they weren't consistently near the top of the heap every quarter. 45 years old, fake boobs and lip injections. I thought you said she was attractive. Hit that before he does. Hit that. Welcome to the real world. You have only one choice, bounce that butt, and then tell him about it. All of these people talking about how cold-hearted and assy the OP is have probably never had to manage time and resources for a company. If someone is not qualified to perform basic job functions, bringing them on wastes time and money, both for the company and for the underqualified worker. I seriously cannot understand how you could see it any other way, but she's a person. Have some feelings. Feelings don't run a company. Shut the holy frick up. Also wanted to add that I've been laid off before due to downsizing. So I understand the whole think with your big gay heart thing, but still, no. Stare, I dunno. At this point, I'd see how she does. Maybe she knows she's underqualified and is going to take this opportunity to prove herself and step up. I'd say since she's already hired, give her a trial period. See how she performs. Then make your decision. Maybe she's hot and competent, who knows. How about you stop being such a meddling douchebag? Deal with it. Fully agreed. If she doesn't work out, she'll get let go and the process will start again. Shut up and move on. Stop being such a party pooper. Sounds like you're jelly rolling. Listen, hater. Pretty girls can learn to work too. Maybe she will increase sales. Haters gonna hate. Although I don't know enough about this particular situation, but generally I agree. Women and especially pretty women can be very successful at sales. As long as you have tracked dialogue of your recommendation not to hire, you should be good. Let him and her do their thing. This could work out better for you in the long run. If she works out, then great. If not, it will be a good opportunity for upper management to throw some new responsibilities and higher pay your way. If the inevitable mess will ultimately harm your career or reflect badly on you, then by all means do a Barney Fife and nip it in the bud. Otherwise just have a seat, nuke some popcorn and enjoy the show. Cover your butt. You have been visited by the IT lizard. Upvote or experience bad internet for a month. Like and subscribe, you magnificent person.